independent is your business from you, which is, I think it's probably something that most business owners, it's the ultimate dream, is just having this machine. It just runs, produces cash flow, puts money in your bank account, and you don't have to do anything with it. I mean, that's ultimately the goal, to be fully independent. So the business runs, and if you want to work in it or be involved in it, that's fine, but it's fully independent. So if it's the thing that, from my experience and from what I've learned, is that it's actually quite elusive for most business owners. So even though they can build a business and scale it, they end up becoming a key part of the business operation. So what I want to talk about today is why is it so hard to develop independence in the business, to extract yourself from your business? I'm going to go through some of the key learnings that I've seen with that, and why is it important, to actually make your business independent from you as a key approach and a key goal. Whenever I sort of aim to build out a business, right from the get-go, I'm pretty clear that I intend to make the business independent from me. It's difficult sometimes to set the time frame on when that'll happen, but I'm pretty clear that I want to be able to get the business up and running and make the, by and large, most parts of it independent from me. So it's something that's really important for me when I'm looking at a new business or getting into something new. Is am I going to be involved in it on a day-to-day basis, or am I able to extract myself from that? So why is it so elusive? I mean, you would know a lot of business owners, no question. If you're running your own business, you can judge, how independent is your business from you. If you weren't involved went away for a month or 2 months or 3 months, how would it cope? So the general data and the information that I have and the businesses that I've worked with is that it's not that common. And I think the main reason, there's not really a practical reason behind it. It's more about mindset and beliefs. It's more about mindset and beliefs. So if you have a mindset that you expect the business, and in fact want the business to operate without you, and it's essential that that's going to be a key outcome of the business, then that's a different mindset than having an expectation or a belief that you need to be actively involved in it for it to work. So when I talk to different clients and entrepreneurs about their business, and they, because I travel around a lot, currently I'm up in Darwin, they say, "Oh, you're so lucky you can do that with your business." I said, "Well, you can as well. Why don't you do that?" Like colleagues and mates of mine who run their own businesses. And I said, no, it's different. I can't really do that because of this or because of that, or, I have this and I have that. So there's always a list of why it's not possible in their own business. But the reality is that it's possible in every business. It's not a practical reason why these businesses or these business owners can't extract. It's actually just mindset. So there's some mindset blockers that I've heard and I see in operation for many businesses. And here's a few of them. The first thing is they say what we do is very unique, and with our approach, it's impossible to find the right people. So is that common? So people say, well, we're different, our business model is different, and it's really hard to find the right people. That's one thing. And so that's a belief, isn't it? It's a belief that, you just can't find the right people to do that. Another one is I can't really afford to bring people on to do things I don't want to do. And so that's looking at the current business, looking at the cash flow, saying, I just can't afford to do it. So I'm going to have to do it until I get it to that stage. My clients only like to deal with me, would not deal with anyone else. So that's, if you've built the business from the ground up and you've built a relationship with a lot of clients and you've potentially built the brand around, or the business brand around your personal brand, then that might be an issue as well, where people want to actually deal with you. But you can manage that. I remember with, and I'll go through some of these to give you an understanding as to how I've sort of grappled with this. I need to know what is going on. I've tried this before. So this is another point. I've tried this before, but it always ends up in a mess. So it's not really workable. So people have tried going, getting rid of activity, getting someone else to do it. It always ends up in a mess. So that sort of equates to it's not really workable. Another one is I need to know what's going on across the business to make sure things are operating properly. So I need to know. And so there's a belief that in order for me to know, I need to be involved in it, which isn't true. And no one will do it to the same standard and level that I do it. It just won't work for me. So if you've got a high expectation, you're a bit of a perfectionist, then you'll have you will come to that conclusion that they won't do it the same as you, and they may, for the work that you do, you may need to get a couple of people on board. Do any of these sound familiar for you? Are they reasons that you have, or beliefs potentially that you have as to why you are unable to extract your business to the level that you want? With those sort of points, I've sort of looked at it. There's a couple of things that I've considered when I looked at these. For me, because I've always been really clear about extracting myself from my businesses, I don't allow these beliefs to form part of the framework of how I build and operate a business. I actually won't do a business or won't grow a business if it's going to be that difficult for me to extract from it, because that doesn't line up with my personal ideal scene, and it will never be an ideal business for me. And so part of it is really, if you set the belief, and the core belief is that this business, my business, can run and operate without me, and that's where I'm going to head in. So if you say that your ideal scene for your business is it's running and operating without you, or your involvement is only in the areas that you want to be involved, that's actually the start point to have that belief in place. Without that belief, it's going to be difficult, because you're not going to be looking for the solutions or looking for the approaches that can make a difference and that can take you down that path and move you further away from the current scene and closer to the ideal scene. So if you want to create a business that's, truly independent from you, you have to absolutely, totally want to create this, and it needs to be part of the way you evolve your business, and it needs to be part of your business model and your ideal scene. And so there may be, for example, certain roles in the business that you just love, you do really well, and you want to continue to do those, and that's fine. But there's a real difference between having to do these things and wanting to do these things. So you have choice. So you can decide, I like doing these things, and so I'm going to continue to do it. You might do it, but you might still have some flexibility around it, or I have to do these things because there's no one else in my business. It always comes back to me. There's a difference. And so that's, they're not exclusive. You might find that you like doing sales, or you might like being involved in the technical aspect of the business, or providing support to customers, or whatever it is. And that's fine. But then that becomes a choice, not a necessity. And that's the difference between independence. So why should you really bother? What's the big deal around, making your business ideal? In the sense of making your business independent from you. So here's some of the top reasons that I believe as to why independence is an important characteristics or criteria to develop for your business. So firstly, from your own point of view, prevents business fatigue and exhaustion. And you might know this, we all go hard in business. It's part of their game. We're developing something new. We're rolling out a new product or a new service, or there's some issue going on. But you can't do that. It's not sustainable to do that, week after week, month after month, year after year. It's just not, And so in order for you to be able to operate efficiently, effectively, and be at your best, you can't have this fatigue and you can't have this exhaustion. A lot of the fatigue simply comes down to having to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So that's one reason it prevents that from taking place. An example in one of our businesses where we sell franchises is I must have talked to thousands of people inquiring for a franchise. And it just got to a point where I just didn't want to do that anymore. I talked to many, many people. It's just something that I've just moved past. And it was more important that I moved away from that. And I recognize that. So there's other people now within the business who undertake that role. But it was something it was actually worse for me to do it, because I just got I guess to the point where you've just done it too much, or too many have been doing it for too many years. The second reason is that if you get to focus on what you do well and enjoy. We've all got something that we're really great at, like our unique skill or unique ability, or something that, we just groove and we love. And so one of the things is to, by being able to make the business independent from you, you're able to focus on those things, the things that you love, the things that you enjoy, and the things that really get you out of bed in the morning. And this is where you should be spending your time. So that's the second reason. The third reason is it has positive impacts on your personal life and those around you, in your personal life. So when a business has high dependency on you, it also has a high level of control over you and your life. Things happen, you get a phone call, something happens on the weekend, there's always something going on, there's always some issue. And this is the complete opposite to freedom, that as entrepreneurs, that's what we want. So when you have that, when there's that sort of control over you because of the dependence on you, then this has negative impacts on your personal life and your relationships as well. It's, I've been going through a bit of a process of valuing my business. I always do that every few years, valuing different businesses. And one of the key things that increases the value of your business is, how dependent is it on you? The more independent it is from you as a business owner, the more attractive it is to someone coming in and buying that business out. If it's a business that's totally all about you, totally wrapped around you, then it makes it very difficult for someone else to step into that business, because they're really going to be reliant on you as a key person. So that's important. It does increase the value of your business. And there is a podcast I've talked about, the bottleneck. The fifth reason you want to look at this closely, it removes yourself as the bottleneck and stopper. So all of us only have skills and knowledge to a certain level, and we'll limit what it is that we can do in our business and how fast we can grow and areas that we can expand in based on our own limits and lack of skills or knowledge in particular areas. So whether it's sales, marketing, finance, production, technology, whatever it is, you'll only be able to take it to a certain level. So by removing yourself, you'll take yourself out as a bottleneck and stopper, and then you'll be able to bring people into your business that have greater expertise and knowledge and can really take things to the next level. Independence, if you use this approach in your business by making it independent from you, it naturally makes the business, removes dependency on other people as well. Because in order to create independence from you, you needed to create some structure, you need to have some systems, you've got some statistics in place. And ideally, you want to have a business that's not really reliant on any key people or key personnel at all. If there are, then it creates a risk for you in your business. If something was to happen to that person or they just packed up and left. So it's really important if you create independence for you and you go through that process, then just by doing that, you'll create a framework which will create greater independence from any key people in the business. And we've seen that happen. In the early days in the business, it was quite hard, but nowadays, the different businesses, there's no real high dependency, because there's frameworks and there's structures and there's systems and there's processes. If people come and they leave and they contribute, it doesn't really impact on the operations of the business, which is important. So look, these are a few of the key reasons why I think it's really important to make any business that we build independent from us. I think it should be a key goal. From your own, if you're in business currently, from your own point of view, how independent, the level of independence that your business has from you, is it ideal for you? Would you like it to be more? So are you too involved in your business at the moment? And if it's something, then you want to be looking at how you can create greater independence from you by your business. Okay, hopefully that makes some sense, provided some information around independence. What are some of the reasons why the majority of business owners don't really get to this point, and why, and the core benefits and outcomes for you if you can achieve this in your business. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to catching up with you again. Ciao for now.